Thomas, we have a new location which is working. Yes, I'm allowed to work in the garage now. Yeah! And do spray painting. Not in the house. Yeah! And properly ventilate possibly this area. But of course, this means a lot of work, and I need to get the audio where it's nice and the lighting where it's nice, and hopefully we're going to have a top-down camera right over here over the workspace, and it'll be cool. Yes. But for right now, I've made a kind of my own workbench out of a big sheet of particle board or MDF. It's one of the nicer ones. It's one of the nicer ones. And then just some bracings for shelving, and on the bottom is some wood cuttings left over from this wall panel I put up here. So one thing I want to do is I've got to brace the sides because it wiggles a little bit, like a lot actually. I'm going to come in and brace these, but I'm going to do that later. I'm going to get some nice big panels to do that with. Right now I'm just working with largely scrap wood, except for this one. The work surface, I went and bought a nice, brand new, fresh work piece of wood for that. Alright, let me just slide this out a little bit. I'm going to be mounting this to the wall I put up so it doesn't go anywhere. Also, so it stays flush. I can take it off if I really need to, but this is pretty much going to be my location. And I've already pre-drawn some stuff. I can find it. There it went. Okay, here's one circle I drew. Here's another circle. Okay, cool. I can do this. Okay. One, and then here's one right here. Alright. There's another one. And one more. Okay, one of the few times you'll probably ever see me like actually in frame where you can see my face. But let me do this real quick. Alright. The other thing we need to do is where I mounted the screws into the frame, I'm going to have to go in with a file and sand them off. But what are we going to talk about today? Well, today we're going to talk about an interaction I had with some of my friends regarding DaishoCon. So I wanted to do the Reggies, but 3 weeks is kind of short notice, and I realistically don't think I'll be able to get those people in. It kind of sucks, but that's just the way it is. Oh well. So I'm gonna have to push it off to like maybe Milwaukee or something like that, and hopefully I can get people to come and be ready to go and all that. Oh well. So I'm left with, what am I going to do for DaishoCon? Well, I think I'm going to do a quick, easy, fun costume. Nothing too crazy. I was deciding whether I want to do the main character from Overlord in his like disguise armor, not his main skeletal form, because I can pop on armor really easily and quickly, and so that's not a problem for me to do in about 2 weeks. The other option is to do Joke cosplay from Undertale, because Joke cosplays are fun. One thing I like to do with Joke cosplays is, because I'm not really going for like super intense craftsmanship, is practice things I don't normally get to do, because I get commissioned for armors and props all day long. So this gives me a chance to make something I don't normally do. And for this Undertale, I'm going to try and make, I'm considering making the Lesser Dog. It's basically this Doge, or Pomeranian, it's some kind of like fluffy dog in armor. And so it is kind of a fur armor combination. I can make the armor pretty easily, and I believe it's got a tunic to cover the arm, just to, yeah, kind of a tunic. There is a one scene in the inn where you get to see the colorings, and it does indicate that the arms are covered with some sort of fabric or cloth. Okay, cool. I'm leaning more towards the Undertale one because that's a little bit more fun to me personally. The only problem is that I'm not really the best fur person, so it's a good chance for me to develop those skills. And while not really being serious about it, because it's just a the flavor of the month kind of game, and so the joke isn't really going to be relevant by the next convention. There's going to be some other indie game that pops into that position, and I really like Undertale. I like Lesser Dog meme. It's pretty funny. It's like it's basically Long Cat but a dog. Let me push it. Just butt it up. Okay. Again, I need to cross brace the sides, and I can do that. And pulling off camera, heavy thingamajigger into position. Okay. Let me see if these are lined up. If these are lined up, you did all right. And actually, it's a little bit too much. Okay, a little bit too much in the other direction. Of course. And just a scooch. There we go. Scooch, 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 scooch. But so here's the problem. Let me pull my pants up before I go and lean over this table for you guys. Here's the problem. Something that came up over the weekend. So I mentioned to some friends of mine that I intended to compete in a masquerade, and the first thing that kind of popped out of their mouth was, oh well, yeah, he's just gonna win. And these are from my friends. They had intended to enter and to compete and have some fun and possibly get an award. And that really, I really don't like to affect masquerades in that way. I may have mentioned this before, but there is a mood that changes when you see a costume that is very clearly more advanced. Wait 1 second, something's passing. Damn, streetcar. It affects the green room, affects the performance, it affects the mentality of the performance and the performers when you see that your chances of succeeding drastically diminish. And it's not good. It's not a positive thing to just come in and like crush horribly. There's a lot of fun in the anticipation, not stress, I would say pressure, all those. Yeah, anticipation. Ah, rah, rah. I'm gonna skip the big words anyway. There's a lot of fun in entering masquerades and not knowing the outcome. When it's a close competition, those are the best. Those are the most fun. And I really don't try and go to events with like the intention of horribly crushing people, because that not only affects the one event that you've been at, that could mean that that person never comes to another competition because they feel that they don't have what it takes. And that stagnates stagnates the scene, because I don't know how many times I've seen the same people over and over and over again, and they bring the same stuff, and it's not really interesting. And I really want to encourage new people to try their hand at it, because it can be fun, it can be motivation, and it can foster growth. So it weighs very, very heavily on me when I hear that kind of talk, and I don't really. It's like it's hard for me to talk about, because, like, on one hand, of course, I want to have my Pokemon badge for defeating the gym, or going to a convention and getting an award, but that means so much more to other people. And I have plenty. I don't need more. But at the same time, with the competition, is that a fair competition, right? Is it better for them to have the standards lowered and have more access to the award or the payoff, or is it better to keep the competition as high and as like best production as possible? And either way I look at it, there's not really a clear winner. Oops, I kicked something. And I want to think about what's best, not only for myself, but the community and the people hanging around me. Because I don't want to be a douche and show up to every convention and just win every single time. Like, those people are like kind of assholes. Like, I don't need to compete at every college level contest. That doesn't prove anything. What I really want is a good, strong competition. But I don't know. I don't know what's best for the competitive scene. I try my best to make it as fair and as welcoming as possible. I really want more people to find it fun, enjoying the thing I like to do, and share in this passion. So at times I'm torn about this kind of crap. And there's other times where I just want to like cut loose. I want to show what I can do. I want people to know that I can do these things. And for a long time, I don't know. I've done stuff that's like challenging myself in different ways, such as winning a Masters award at a large convention in a costume I only constructed the week before. I mean, what do I even do now? Because after a point, you have to figure out what motivates you and what keeps you going. I don't know. It's internal monologuing and problems I have to deal with personally. But I wanted to share that with you guys while I'm mounting my new table. We're going to have, in the future, a top-down perspective. I'm hopefully going to get like a rail or something I can scoot this back and forth on, so you can see, and maybe get closer or farther. But for now, you will just look at my butt as I put this screw into the wall and the table, and it's good and sturdy. I might want to reinforce the lip with a 2x4, just so it doesn't like chip off, because of course this is just particle board. And I don't think I'll be working with super heavy materials, but I did want a lip so that I could sit down at the table comfortably. Whatever, it's in far enough. Yeah, I'll get it in a second. My wrist. Oh, let me see what time it is. We've ranted on long enough. So, those are my basic feelings on the competitive scene in this weekend that was kind of disappointing, dealing with internal BS. I'm glad you guys listened. I hope to see you guys at the masquerades, hope to see you at conventions. I'll see you guys next time. Good time to all. Hey, looks like you made it all the way to the end. If you're interested in more new tutorials, con coverage, and other cosplay shenanigans every week, hit that sub button to get it delivered hot and fresh to you.